J. Teccarelli,
Yes.
K. Gillette,
Yes.
A. Gowan,
Yes.
Tracy Manell.
Yes.
Marty will come shortly. Don Ward,
Yes.
Eric Knowles.
Yes.
All right. Great. So I'm sure everyone had a chance to review the regular meeting minutes and both versions of the loan committee minutes. Looking for a motion to approve those, please.
This is Tracy, so moved.
Eric Knowles, second.
Second, please. Thank you. We can go through roll call, please, if we could.
All right. Jen Teccarelli,
Yes.
Kevin Gillette,
Yes.
Aaron Gowan,
Yes.
Tracy Manell,
Yes.
Don Ward,
Yes.
Eric Knowles.
Yes.
Great, thank you. I suppose I could have tackled the financials along with that.
Well,
did-
we really have not, we just have to acknowledge the financials. Were there any things that you needed to point out about the financials this month, Christine?
So there were a few things Aaron and I discussed and have corrected already. The Waverly Trade Center grant disbursement came through this month and was dispersed out. So we made sure to book that to the correct account, and everything else is in order.
That's great.
So the only
Are there
other
any
really
questions?
notable. Nope.
Are there any questions about the financials? I would entertain a motion to acknowledge them, please.
So moved. This is Aaron.
Thank you.
Second. Seven.
Roll call, please, Christine.
Thanks, Jen. Jen Teccarelli,
Yes.
Kevin Gillette,
Yes.
Aaron Gowan,
Yes.
Tracy Manell,
Yes.
Don Ward,
Yes.
Eric Knowles.
Yes.
Thank you.
And Leanne Kinney is up next with her economic development report.
Hey, hello, everybody. I'll just quickly, I sent a report over to Christine. Hopefully she shared it with everybody, but to go through it quickly, COVID-related activities. We have completed compiling the data on the 255 surveys that we received back. We have a document I can share with you, breaks down the information that we pulled on that. We are looking right now at putting a second survey together now that we're farther into this. We're anticipating responses are going to be somewhat different than what we were looking for earlier. We're going to revamp it and ask more relative pertinent questions at this point. So another survey will be rolling out. Christine will, I'm sure, touch on the COVID-19 emergency relief fund for small businesses. We launched the COVID-19 web landing page specific to business assistance. It's on covid19.tiogacountyny.com. We're dumping everything we can there related to information that's going to help our business community to that site, so that there's one clear path for information. We established the Tioga County Economic Recovery Advisory Council. There are 26 members to this council. We've had 2 meetings to date. Today we talked about a number of things, largely about the guidelines that the state has sent down as far as opening, the phased reopening, what sort of criteria is going to be required by businesses to be able to reopen. Team Tioga did create a document that we will be sharing probably even later today. It is a guide to businesses for to start thinking about what they're going to have to do, what sort of protocols and processes they're going to have to put in place in order to be able to reopen once they are within one of the 4 phases that have been identified by the state for reopening. So information on this is changing on a daily basis. So we're doing our best to keep up with it and provide information as we can. The team assisted with the established Foundation Coalition Fund to assist our not-for-profits. That's going pretty well. Abby's heading that up. I participated in the SBDC Lunch and Learn seminar, participating in the weekly Tioga County press conferences along with Marty. We are having bi-weekly economic development organization meetings, which has been helpful from across the region. For the 8 counties, we meet every other week and share best practices and what everybody else is doing and share documents so we don't have to continue to recreate the wheel. So that's been very, very helpful. And as well, it will hopefully provide a unified approach to reopening as we're all trying to kind of stay on the same page. We did hear from the state that all local grants are on hold until I don't know what time, until we get some of these things figured out. We anticipate that the governor is waiting to hear if there will be any kind of assistance provided to the states. If that happens, then of course, then they won't have to pass their impact on to the local governments. So there's a chance that the grant money will be released at that time, but we don't know for sure. Waiting to hear. On the reopening plan, we do know that phase 1 will include manufacturing, construction, and some retail, although we're not clear what some retail is yet. And as I said, we're providing guidance to the businesses on getting ready for that to happen. Other activities, we have received additional funding for the land bank. The land bank did receive an additional $560,000 to continue with their efforts. Teresa's been working hard at that. She's got 6 properties that are going to be sold or working toward getting closings on those that will go back onto the tax rolls. Census outreach is ongoing. We are now at a 62% self-response rate, which at this point is the 2nd highest in the state. So Elaine Jardine is doing a really good job getting the word out and encouraging people to complete their census. 8-year ag district review is ongoing. The DRI, even though we're unsure of how the grant funds are going to play out, we are continuing to work with project owners to complete the required information. We're going forward and being confident that those projects will move forward as well. There were 2 239 reviews by the planning department, one in the town of Richford, site plan review for a commercial plaza. It's been recommended approval in the village of Owego, site plan and area variances for the Thompson's Public Well Brewery project. Both were recommended for approval and both have passed through the local approving bodies as well. Southern Tier Network broadband study is in process. It's moving along on schedule as planned. If you recall, we have applied to USDA to fund the IDA portion of that. We should hear on that in August. We're not anticipating that the federal grants will be held up, so we're hopeful that we will hear on an approval on that in August. Workforce pipeline study is moving forward. Right now, Brittany's working through some virtual meetings. It's a little tricky, but I think we should hopefully be able to manage that, be able to complete the report. And the Restore New York projects, 3 of them, trying very hard to get disbursements out on those, but everything's been held up at the state with OSC. It's not a matter of not having the funding. The funding is there. It's a matter of process, and state workers are kind of a little preoccupied with other things right now, so we're having a hard time getting it through the system, but we've been assured the funding is there. It's just a matter of getting it dispersed. That's all I have for now.
Thank you, Leanne.
Hey, Leanne, this is John. Just curiosity on the nonprofit thing that's getting put together. Do you have any details in regards to what that might look like?
Yeah, sure. It's out there on the Foundation Coalition webpage now. It's available right now. I can have Abby reach out to you directly if you'd like. She is overseeing the process. Foundations can make an application. She reviews it, it goes through a committee for approval, and then Tag Opportunities is actually the pass-through of the funds. So the money is being actually dispersed by Tag Opportunities once the review committee has looked it over and blessed it. So if you'd like, I can have Abby call you and talk with you directly about it.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. I've got some nonprofits that are in a tough spot right now.
Yep, I will have her get a hold of you.
Sure. And I'm glad, thanks for the update on Restore stuff too.
Yep.
Moving on to project updates, Christine.
Thank you, Jen. So Wego Gardens 2, we're expecting the wetland permit to be issued within 1 week. We're waiting for Suez to sign the DOH form so that that can go for review. We're also anticipating Suez to sign that form within the next week to get that over. And Fagan Engineers is planning to start the 4-week bid process here shortly to coincide along with the DOH review. So on to the Monkey Run FEMA grant. I've attached the site inspection report that Mike Dura okayed for us, and so I signed off on it and submitted it to FEMA. They're pending, they're reviewing our funding request right now, anticipating an approval on that. And our zone change was approved for the Lounsbury site. On to new business. As I mentioned earlier, the upstate, or actually, we've had 2 grant pass-throughs recently. So this is just to let you know the upstate shredding grant pass-through came through this month and has been dispersed to Weissman. They're expecting 1 more grant disbursement in 2021, and that grant will be completed. The next thing on the agenda is the resolution for Nichols Cross Dock. Drew, will you please pull up new business fee? So, yes, please. Thank you. So I'll read this just to make sure that we're all on the same page before we vote. Can you scroll down for me right there? Thank you. So this is resolution authorizing the chairwoman on behalf of the agency to enter into an IDA consent and estoppel agreement with Norman Cross Nichols LLC, allowing Norman Cross Nichols LLC to transfer its interest in the June 30th, 2016 Nichols Cross Dock LLC leaseback transaction and all closing documents thereof to CPI Nichols 1 LLC and CPI Nichols 2 LLC. So this is regarding...
Questions? I'm sorry. Are there any questions about the resolution? Can we have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Can I have a second?
Second, Aaron.
Thank you. Christine, roll call, please.
All right. Jen Ceccarelli?
Yes.
Kevin Gillette?
Yes.
Aaron Gowan?
Yes.
Tracy Manell?
Yes.
Marty Sabry?
Yes.
Don Ward?
Yes.
Eric Knoll?
Yes.
Great. Thank you so much. So moving on to old business. Under Governance Committee, we have an amendment to the bylaws. So Drew, can you please pull up Resolution 2A? Thank you. This resolution's intent is to address the mentioning of how we will host meetings under circumstances such as these. Resolution authorizing an amendment to Article 2, Section 10 of the agency's bylaws adopted on February 7th, 2007, and revised in January of 2020, a copy of which is attached here too as Exhibit A as follows. Unless otherwise prohibited by law, the board may conduct such meetings by telephone conference, video conference, or such technological means as the board in its discretion deems adequate to allow the general public to observe and participate therein.
Thank you for following up on that, Christine.
Thanks, Jen. And thank you, Joe.
Yes, and
You're
thank you, Joe. Can we please have a first?
I'll make a motion. This is John.
Thanks, John. How about a second?
Second.
Kevin.
Roll call, please, Christine.
Jen Tecarelli,
Yes.
Kevin Gillette,
Yes.
Aaron Gowan,
Yes.
Tracy Manell,
Yes.
Tracy, sorry, Marty Sabre,
Yes.
John Ward,
Yes.
Eric Knowles. Eric Knowles,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Next, under the Finance Committee, we've established a new bank account for the COVID-19 USDA HUD funds. Moving on to Loan Committee report. The following loans were approved and dispersed. B&B Automotive Restoration was declined. Rock Oak Lumber obtained $25,000. Riley Brothers Seafood, $25,000. Belva LLC, $15,000, and Hoagie Home, $10,000. And on to pilot updates. The sales tax exemption report. VNS has reported using $624,380.93. Best Buy's reported $423,920.98, both within their limits. Spencer Tioga Solar has provided an amended final report, and in which they've discovered they have $70,135.42 of sales tax exemption available to them through NYSEG that they've not utilized, but they're requesting our permission to increase their allowable sales tax exemption in order for them to do so. So we have the following resolution for consideration. Drew, if you could pull up AC, please. So the resolution approving an increase in the amount of the sales and use tax exemption for the Spencer Tioga Solar LLC project from $697,137.75 to $767,273.17. And an extension of the sales and use tax exemption agreement from May 24th, 2018 through and including May 31st, 2020.
Any discussion about this resolution? Can I have a first, please?
So moved, Aaron.
Tracy, so moved.
Thank you. Christine, roll call.
Kevin, second.
Jen Tecarelli,
Yes.
Kevin Gillette,
Yes.
Aaron Gowan,
Yes.
Tracy Manell,
Yes.
Marty Sabre,
Yes.
John Ward,
Yes.
Eric Knowles.
Yes.
Thank you so much. The last thing on the agenda is our pilot company employment report. We will do this annually going forward as one of the results of the New York State Comptroller audit recommendations. And so this is the 2019 year-end employment levels. Drew, will you please pull up the, thank you so much. So it's listing every pilot company that we currently have an agreement with, their full-time employment before IDA status, our original estimate of their full-time employment after the pilot's initiation, and the number at 2019 year end. Aggregately showing a gain of 708 jobs due to our pilot agreements to date.
That was a great report. Thanks for pulling that together, Christine.
Thank you, Jen. Anytime. That is all I have for the regular agenda today. And I sent out our executive
So it's like a whole system.
loan report, but we don't have a need for discussion in executive today, so that's great.
This is Aaron. The county votes on the loans we've approved?
Yes, the ED&P Legislative Committee votes on that. There are 4 members.
Okay. So it's done quickly after the loan committee agrees to it.
Yeah.
Yes, it has been. The last approval was turned around one day after the IDA Loan Committee's approval. We received the ED&P Committee's approval as well.
Okay. How many more I see we have a bunch in the pipeline. Are there a bunch for next week or not? For this week?
At this time, I have not received additional applications, though I do have 8 to 10 people working on them. We plan to discuss this Friday at the Team Tioga staff meeting, whether or not we should try to push the word out further due to the lack of submissions.
Well, it makes a lot less work for us if we don't. Sorry.
If you were giving it away, there would be a long line.
Oh, and that's what many people have been after.
They want every month.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that got a PPP loan is gonna, they're gonna have a nice chunk, depending on, there's a lot of companies getting a lot of money from this PPP program. I mean, a lot of people have anxiety because the forgiveness part is not well laid out, and there's a lot subject to interpretation. But our bank has done in 5 weeks now about the same number of loans and the same dollar amount of loans as we do in a full year.
Wow.
Yeah, we're about $40 million into PPP at this point.
I'm not sure what the anxiety is with the PPP. You get the money, you do a little math, you figure out how to spend enough in payroll and expenses, and it's forgiven.
It's
I'm
the
not
people
sure why
that,
there's anxiety. I'm not sure why anybody should have anxiety over this. All you got to do is have a little bit of math skills.
Kevin, it's the people that took the money that aren't able to open. And they did that based on interpretation of the system at the beginning, that now that guidance has come out, those people probably would have been better served to have waited. And a lot of those folks are having a hard time getting their employees to come back to work because they're making more money on unemployment.
Yeah, I get that part, but the anxiety at this point falls on the people that are legislating this mess.
Right.
If you didn't lay people off and you got in on this thing, it's a no-brainer.
Yep.
If you got in on this thing and you didn't shut down, it's really a no-brainer. And the anxiety falls on, there's going to have to be some adjustments made in the program in order to make it work for the people that did shut down, laid off employees as they were told to do, basically. And then we legislated the fact that the employees got an extra $600, so there was no way to get them back.
Yep.
There's a bit of a mess here, but the anxiety should lay with the legislature, the state government, and the feds. Because we got 24 months to get this squared away.
Yeah, they really have, well, they got about 5 months now before payments start kicking in for the people that took the money. But, instead of easing anxiety, they came out with, verbiage that now has people nervous because they're saying, there's going to be some intangible necessity test that's, not explained and subject to interpretation. I think that was initially aimed at the public companies that shouldn't have taken money, but, now you got a lot of other folks saying, geez, what's this necessity test going to be?
Should we start a poll to see how many people actually get hurt in this deal, or how we change it along the way so it does work?
I just hope the forgiveness process isn't going to be cumbersome on us, because, oh boy.
Yeah.
Because 5% of 40 million sucks.
In regards to what, the fee?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not getting that much. No question, Kevin. I mean, certainly the fee income is there, but if we get stuck with these things on our books because they make forgiveness extremely difficult, that very well may offset a lot of that.
Yeah, in a hurry.
All right.
Any other discussion, folks? These meetings sure are fast when we all get on the phone.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, that's great.
Second.
Thank you so
second
much,
that.
everyone.
Goodbye.
Thank you,
Stay
folks.
well.
Everybody.
Take care.
Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
So Kathy,